I don't know why I was in such denial that I would ever get diabetes. Like,
that's so good. Watch your sugar. Yeah. That's true. That's why I don't want to go to the diabetes class. They're going to tell me to eat chocolate ganache cake with Splenda.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about Foodie Beauty, or Chantal. So Chantal has been a YouTuber for quite some time, since 2014. She was doing videos about makeup at the start, but then she actually kind of started dabbling in doing mukbang videos, which was really popular around that time. So I think it kind of makes sense that she started doing that. And she obviously started garnering a following based on those mukbang videos. Now, Chantal is one of those people that shares a lot in their content. And I think because of that, as well as being someone that is in a larger body and constantly kind of saying that she wants to lose weight while obviously not doing the things that are kind of necessary to make that happen, she became a frequent in the girl world, and people kind of started making videos about her around this time. The first time she ever posted a mukbang or an eat with me video, the amount of views that that video got versus the other videos that she was making wasn't even close. It was far, far, far more. And so clearly she saw that and decided, well, I'm going to continue making these videos.
hey guys. Sorry, I'm just like having a really bad time right now. I'm hangry. Like, I have not eaten a single thing in forever. And I'm really hangry and bitchy. So today I have a mukbang for you. So get your food, get your drinks, and join me on this first official mukbang for my channel.
Now, with that being said, I know it might sound like I am being critical of that. I actually don't think there's anything wrong. Like, that's what YouTube is. You find a niche and you continue doing that. Now, the only issue with that is that, you know, when you are making these mukbang eat with me videos, what you are doing is eating on camera. And then if you start to try and introduce weight loss into that.
What is the least favorite thing about yourself? Probably my weight. It's always the number one thing that comes to mind.
It can get really, really toxic for the person that is doing it, Chantal in this case, but also for the people that are watching it and the fans of the content. Before we get too deep into the mukbang stuff, another thing I wanted to talk about is Chantal's personality. Now, there are a lot of people that are not the biggest fan of Chantal's personality. They think she is very vulgar. They think she is very gross. They think she is very mean. They think she's very nasty.
What? Just go out, eat what you want. Just do what you want, eat what you want, and, you know, just die at 60. Who cares? You don't want to live to be 80 and if all you can eat is like healthy food. I think the guy had a crush on me at Burger King because he gave me 3 sauces, and usually they forget my sauce. I think that's like a little way of him saying, yeah, you're cute. Take a bite of my wiener. All right, here goes. Wow, that hot dog is juicy. And this, ladies, we are now at a stage where the curtains match the drapes. My fupa looks like this. I don't want to hear people say, if your comment annoys me, or it's just like annoying, you know, or rude, or just pisses me off, I'm just gonna delete it. You wish you could smell my fishy. You wish you could come near the fish of the fupa. You wish you could taste the cuisine.
And all of these things. But if you go back to the older videos, it didn't seem that way. When you watch the videos, she seemed like a very soft-spoken, kind, sweet individual. And it seems like those things kind of changed over time.
I love Ipsy. I'm one of those Ipsy fangirls. And I wait religiously by the mail.
Now, you could argue that that's her real personality kind of coming out, but you can also argue that she saw that the more vulgar, rude, you know, gross or whatever, the more bombastic you are on camera, the better that does for views.
Sweet Jane, are you fucking Oh, sorry, I said Oh, I'm not allowed to say Ooh, sorry. Oh, sorry, that's a slur. Give me a break. I'm so tired of people being so fucking SJW. You can't even say anything anymore without people being fucking offended. I honestly, the R word, honestly, that pisses me off. I'm going to be honest. Because, honestly, I obviously don't have anything... It's so stupid. I obviously don't have anything against people with disabilities. It's so stupid. Retard is also figurative. It means you're fucking stupid.
Now, there are obviously quite a bit of similarities between Chantal and co-host of this channel, Amberlynn Reid, but there are also a lot of differences. But because of that, you know, there are a lot of people that know a lot about Chantal, know a lot about Amberlynn. And with that being said, as I always say whenever I talk about Amberlynn, there is so much lore and things that I could talk about in this video to make it incredibly long, but we are going to kind of focus on the things that have been happening recently. But with that being said, I do want to try and give a little bit of updates and explain what has been going on and why what is happening now is so significant. I have made a few videos about Chantal, not very many, but I will go ahead and link those down below if you are curious. But there definitely is a lot of lore that we're just not going to mention too much in this video. One of the times that we ended up talking about her on the channel was this was quite a big deal when it happened. Was Chantal was with her now husband and they were doing a live stream, and someone asked a question about Amberlynn going and visiting them, and her husband made not the best comment, and that sparked a lot of controversy.
We have a cheesecake factory here, though. Can Amberlynn come to the Middle East? Okay.
She will finish the chocolates and the food.
Okay, so she asked there, can Amberlynn come to the Middle East? And then he says she would basically, she would finish all of the food. So basically, you know, a fat joke, right? Which, I mean, I don't think I have to say anything, right? You know, like, I'm not, hey. Well, Amberlynn had a response to this, which we'll go over, but we're going to finish this, this clip here.
Fat shaming! We're both going to finish the Salah!
Joking. She can come anytime she wants. She will come.
There you go, Amberlynn. We'll eat all the chocolates together, alright?
So delicious, the chocolates, by the way.
Amberlynn, I can't imagine sitting next to someone I am in love with. Amberlynn Reid, I will say, she's a lovebird, all right? She is someone that it definitely seems like relationships are like this. It's like Disney Channel, Disney movie type deal situation. You know what I'm saying? But okay. I can't imagine sitting next to someone I am in love with and have them fat shame a woman all while being big themselves. I mean, I can't say it. Hey, this got, if y'all know Amberlynn Reid, this has 2.3 thousand likes. That ain't normal. All right. So there's a lot of people that are like, I feel it. But one thing about Amberlynn, she does like to play the victim, and she was handed on the silver platter, here is your victimhood. Boop. And she took it. She said, W. That's a win for me, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I can't imagine sitting next to someone I am in love with and have them fat shame a woman all while being big themselves. You can't preach about fat shaming and allow your partner to fat shame someone in front of thousands of people. True. Laughing about it is just as bad as making the comment yourself. I have only ever stuck up for Chantal when it comes to her weight, the shaming, the hate, and her marriage. Okay. Why do you gotta... Okay. See, you had me in the first half, you know? Like, but you don't... Come on. Just be like, yo, I've done some messed up stuff, but this ain't cool. You don't need to be like, I have been perfect, and I have never made that. Come on. Why you gotta go that far, right? All right, hearing Salah make a fat joke and Chantal laughing afterwards while crying fat shaming is like a damn parody to me. Again, I feel it. Chantal, this isn't even about me at this point. Do you have respect for yourself? If Salah feels this way about me, do you ever wonder if he secretly feels this way about you? I mean, hey, it's a good point. That's all I'm saying. It's a good point. I think that it's messed up. It's not cool, you know, but at the same time, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not sitting here trying to get on anyone's side. I am a not so silent observer on my own side. I have popcorn and I'm watching. But the reason that I'm talking about Chantal right now is because, one, AdSense, shout out. But the other reason is I have had a few people message me saying that Chantal has mentioned my name in different live streams. Now, Chantal live streams very, very, very frequently, and a lot of times those live streams get deleted, so I haven't been able to find the clips. But people have been saying that Chantal has maybe mentioned me as someone that might be able to help her or something like that. Again, that could be wrong, but I've had a few people kind of mention Chantal, and you know, we haven't made a video in quite some time, so I figured now was a better time than ever to kind of go over everything that has happened in the past couple years since we've talked about Chantal. Before we get into what is happening right now, I think we have to go a little bit back in time just so you at least understand a little bit for those of you that might not know. So in 2022, Chantal moved from, or has been moving back and forth from where she lives in Canada, or where she did live in Canada, to Kuwait, and she ended up marrying someone from Kuwait. So, and she has converted to being Muslim, and so you'll notice that she's wearing, you know, the head, I don't know what it's called. Please do not cancel me. I just don't know what it's called. But she wears the stuff covering her head, and you know that's a big part of her content has kind of changed, right? She is no longer in Canada all the time. She's in Kuwait quite a bit, and she does do a little bit of traveling as well. Chantal, like Amberlynn, is very open about her relationships, and I think that's a big reason why she talks so much about her husband, and she features him. They even have like a channel together. He has his own YouTube channel, stuff like that, right? So she's very open about this, and that's why I kind of feel comfortable talking about it, because it's a big part of her content. It's interesting because it's a big part of Amberlynn's content as well, and so there's definitely a connecting force there between them two. Is, you know, it seems that being in a relationship for both of them is a really important part of just being happy and something that they need. And a lot of people that have been critical of Chantal and the things that she is doing are critical of the relationship, because I think a lot of people feel like, you know, she's only doing things because she wants to be in this relationship, and you know, she's maybe doing things that normally she wouldn't do, stuff like that. So that's a very common theme in a lot of her videos. And with that, you know, her being so open about her relationship, there have been a lot of conspiracies. There's been, I think there was people talking about her husband cheating on her, and maybe that even came out as being true, you know. So it's a lot of very similar stuff to Amberlynn. People are very invested in Chantal, and there's a lot of, because there's so much content, like I said, Chantal does so many videos that there are people that, you know, when you put your life out there like that, especially if it's a unorthodox life, you're basically asking for people to start poking and prodding and being very curious, and that's one of the biggest similarities. And I think that's why with Amberlynn and Chantal, why they get compared so much, it's not so much just because they're bigger women on the internet. There are plenty of women like that. There are plenty of people like that. I think they are people that are very comfortable sharing their unorthodox life, and there's this sense of superiority, I think, sometimes in a lot of their content that I think rings true for both of them, that I think a lot of people enjoy kind of picking apart, right? And so that for me personally, I feel like that's some of the biggest similarities between the two. Obviously, they are their own people. They're very different, but there are some similarities, and those are things that I've noticed through doing research. So obviously, there is just so much content and so much stuff about all of these different controversies. What I want to try and focus on, at least as best as I can in this video, is the many the many tried and failed health journeys that Chantal has been on that have become, it almost feels like it's a parody at this point because of just how many videos there are of her saying she's going to start a diet, and then literally the next video it's just, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. And even in, you know, we're going to go over a live stream where it's like in the course of a live stream it seems like I'm going to do this, never mind, I'm not doing it anymore, right? And so it's those are the things that I want to try and focus on in this video. So one of the biggest revelations and things that have happened in the past couple years is Chantal was actually diagnosed as being diabetic, and that has been something that a lot of people have been critical of because, again, Chantal, this is something that obviously Chantal needs to take care of if she is serious about taking care of her health. And in a lot of videos, there's a lot of times where she's very worried about, you know, this diagnosis and diabetes, but then you go straight into another video where she's doing a mukbang eating, you know, thousands of calories, right? And a lot of sugar and stuff that someone that's diabetic maybe shouldn't be doing, right? And so that's a big point of contention for a lot of the people that watch her videos. So that brings us to the first video that I want to talk about today, which is this one right here, which is titled, I Have Diabetes. So this video was uploaded November 18th, 2023. So again, this is, you know, we're still kind of getting into the current situation, right? And so this was uploaded in 2023. The comments have been turned off, which I find kind of interesting, but let's go ahead and go over this clip right here where she's kind of just talking about, you know, the diagnosis.
316. That's really high from what I gather. I'm not used to the MGDL. Usually it's MMOL. From when I was in Canada, I had that machine. So my blood sugars have rocketed in not that long of a time period. And you know, I know I'm not taking care of my health. I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, you know, anyone with eyes can see that I'm not taking very good care of my health. Struggling with eating habits and lack of exercise, and all that stuff. So 316, when I fast and wake up, I take my blood sugar, it was 230, around that. So
yeah, 316 is pretty high.
Which is still high. It should be like I think around 100 if I'm not mistaken. So I went to see a doctor here about it. You know, I told Salah my blood sugar is pretty high, and he said I'll take you to a doctor tomorrow. Whenever I took my blood sugar for the first time, it was like 369 when I took it that night. It was after a day of not eating very well. And so I told the doctor about my problem. My blood pressure is also high. So before I go on any medications, I just want to give it an honest try for now with diet and exercise, which they did say is the main thing that will help if I reduce some weight. Reduce weight, watch what I eat. Of course, they say limit carbs, which I understand now, processed, like limiting the sugar because
It's interesting seeing like someone try and process to the best of their extent. I think obviously with Chantal it's hard to know exactly what's real and what's kind of acting for videos, because that's not just with Chantal, with anyone that makes content on the internet and films a lot of these situations. But it's interesting because like anyone, you know, especially that grew up in the West, right, where we talk so much about diabetes, like when you're bigger, it's for, I think most people, it's like a concern that you have, like eventually this might be something that you have, right? And I just think for myself, I remember when I was at my heaviest, I was just like, I basically assumed I probably had diabetes, you know, like that was just like a thing that I was like, I might have it, but I don't want to go to the doctor to find that out, because I went to the doctors when I was, I think, in 10th grade. And they basically told me I was pre-diabetic. Like, you're not pre-diabetic, but you're about to be pre-diabetic, right? And I remember just being like, well, at least I'm not diabetic. But I didn't change any habits, right? Like, nothing changed for me. And that moment didn't hit super hard for me even then, right? I mean, granted, I was literally a child. I think I was probably like 15 because I graduated a little early. But I was pretty young, 14, 15, right? So I didn't really take that stuff seriously. But it's interesting seeing someone that, you know, has been diagnosed basically as diabetic still really try to grapple with that diagnosis, because it is something that is life-changing, but it also is something that you can make significant changes in your life and basically make it a non-issue for yourself, right? Something that you don't have to worry about too much. So it's interesting seeing her kind of cope with this, right?
I have a problem regulating sugar now, so I need to really limit that in my body, at least until I can get this under control. And then I'm going to go back in a month's time, and if my blood sugars are still out of whack, I'll have to go on medication. So I'm really, really wanting to give it, try harder than I've ever tried in my life. I don't think I've ever really tried super hard, because when it gets really hard, which it really is, I just give up. I just give up. I panic. I listen to the urges, and I just don't give it enough of a try.
So, she's claiming there that she doesn't give it enough of a try. And I mean, which we will see later in this video, that is definitely true. And it seems that even though, she was diagnosed, like, this is still something that she's struggling with to this day, right? This is still something that she hasn't been able to figure out, right?
And I'm getting up there in age. I'm 39. I could be living a very active, happier life. Healthier, health is happiness for sure. You can't enjoy life if you're not healthy. I mean, my trip to Thailand was awesome, but it could have been so much more awesome if I felt well. I don't feel well. I feel like I have no energy. I feel like I'm 80 years old.
And that's one of the, for me, when I get frustrated about like the health at every size thing, is because I think so many people will focus on like, oh, my panels are fine. And it's like, yeah, but not everyone that is overweight, like they might have panels that are fine, or like severely overweight. They might have panels that are fine, but it's like, are you actually living your life and enjoying your life to the best of your ability, right? Like I've said it many times, right? In the past, when I was at my heaviest, I didn't feel like I was living. I felt like I was just existing. And it's like, how many people out there are having those same feelings? Now, and that's the thing that's interesting about Chantal, is that there, for me at least, the things that I've noticed is that it seems very genuine. Like this, when I watch this video that we're going over right now, it feels very genuine. It feels like there is a want to change, but then you will see like immediately after there's just no follow through, right? Like the follow through is so dismal. And I can understand why people that are invested in this, that watch a lot of the videos, can get very frustrated over time, right?
Let's face it, I probably really physically have the physical capabilities. Some even 80-year-olds even have more of physical capabilities than me. And I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just actually being really realistic that that's how I feel. And it's a lot worse than it's ever been, feelings wise. So I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm probably just gonna do this list here. Lose weight.
So what it has on here is lose weight, healthy eating, exercise regularly, stop smoking, eat fewer carbs, drink more water, get enough sleep, right? Very normal advice for anyone that's just trying to live a healthier life, right?
I need to be consistent with light exercise, even if it's just walking in the evening, because that will get cardiovascular system going, metabolism going. It's just healthy. It's not going to be the number one culprit for weight loss right now. I understand that, because I need to start with my diet. And
that's true, right? So if I'm ever working with someone and they have a significant amount of weight to lose, the most important thing that I'm going to talk to that person about is the diet. What are we eating? What are the things that we are, eating all the time? Where are our pain points? Like, what are the things that we're struggling with the most? And the focus is going to be diet, because exercise is important and I think everyone should do it. And I think like in this exact moment with this video that we are watching right here, right? I think that it's good that she is focusing, or saying that she wants to focus on moving her body, like taking more steps, right? I think that a lot of times anyone that wants to start losing weight, especially if there's a significant amount of weight to lose and they have an event like this, right? So like you're told you're diabetic, or you have another diagnosis, or you have a scare, something happens, right, in your life that you can point to and say, that was a moment for me, right? And I've talked about my click moment. Everyone has one, or not everyone has one, but a lot of people have them, right? Where it's like, this is the moment that I can point back in time that I realized I needed to change. And a lot of times those moments can, like, what happens after them is almost this sense of, I don't know if euphoria is the right term, but it's this sense of like, I'm going to change everything. And that's a very noble thought. But a lot of times that ends up being not the best in the long run, because we make a lot of really big promises to ourselves that we want to keep that we just end up not being able to do. So, you know, a lot of people are like, I'm going to start working out 5 days a week. I'm going to eat only healthy foods. I'm not going to, I'm going to do all these things. And I think that a lot of times that ends up being a detriment. But I understand, because, the other person we talk a lot about, Amberlynn, she has mastered the art of the opposite, which is, well, I'm not going to do too much to where there's not enough change. I think Amberlynn, God bless her, is a special case where I think most people that are trying to lose weight will end up trying to do too much, and then they will kind of crash out, as the kids say. That's the new term everyone loves to use. And so I always recommend starting slow, but not starting with basically nothing, right? But starting slow and eventually increase and increase and increase from there, whether that's exercise, taking more steps, or increase, like, trying to change your diet. But like trying to go from 0 to 100, I personally don't think is the best idea. And so again, like, a lot of the stuff she's saying is solid advice, right? Solid thoughts that she's having here.
To cut out all of the bad things, and it's just really bad how I eat. So I haven't really been ordering out really all that much compared to how I used to, but I have been cooking a lot of things at home. Like, if I don't order out, I'm all day cooking things, like I'm going to make a cobbler, I'm going to make cookies, I'm going to make poutine. I find ways to get to the bad food, and even if it takes more effort. So I need to start, and I need to really, really, really put effort into it. And when the going gets tough, I just have to get through it. Lifestyle changes for the...
I think I can see that it doesn't seem like she has much self-belief even in this moment, because she's saying that, but it just doesn't feel like this is like, oh, this is a huge thing that I have to do. It's like, I feel like I should be worried, right? So I feel like I should make a change.
Better are so difficult, But with sugar readings this high, I don't even know what that is in mmol, maybe 16 or something like that. That's really up what it was when I was like 400 pounds. And the last time I weighed myself not long ago, I was 350 or 360. So I'm gonna weigh myself tomorrow morning, film that. I'm not doing this for any other reason than to just be transparent with myself mostly, and just get better, and I want to have some kind of online support system. I want everyone who's struggling as well to come together and try to do this,
So it's interesting there. She said she wants an online support system. And at this point, right, a few years ago, it was already pretty, like, she's had so many times where she wanted to lose weight and it didn't happen. And this is why I am always cautious for anyone, and I always tell people to be cautious about wanting to lose weight online. Obviously, Foodie Beauty and Amberlynn are very different. Very different cases than maybe most people that would be posting this stuff. But the reason that I tell people to be careful is because losing weight is already difficult enough. And then adding a community to that just adds so much stress. Now, it can be absolutely helpful, and it can be beautiful, and it can really help people out. I'm not saying that there's no benefits to it, but a lot of times the negatives can really outweigh what the positives would be, right? Like having that, accountability and having people that can kind of check you, like that stuff can be really useful. But a lot of times it just turns into people nitpicking every single thing you're doing. And that's why I generally tell people, maybe skip that. If like losing weight is the most important thing to you. But again, everyone's different, and I'm not, if I see someone doing it, it's not like I'm upset at them. I just genuinely am worried for them because it adds so much BS to something that's already very difficult. And so, you know, I always just say, you know, proceed with caution.
And I say that, but I'm afraid that I'll let people down. But there's not really much more option for failure at this point. I mean, my health is not good. You know, I have sleep apnea. I use a CPAP machine. I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of negative health effects from, you know, your size, right?
You know, I was in denial so long about that, like, because I thought I'm pre-diabetic, I'm not going to become diabetic. I don't know why I was in such denial that I would ever get diabetes. Like, you know, I don't know. I really don't know how my brain works with that, but that's how it is. You know, I have depression, anxiety, I have all these things I just need to reverse. And exercise can also help with depression and anxiety as well. So they say it takes 21 days, right, to build good habits if you're consistent. So that's what I just need to do. If nothing else, that's all I'm gonna do. It's just like a daily video diary of how I'm doing, and maybe like.
Okay, so I think that's all we need to watch with that video, right? So she says at the end of there that she wants to make a daily video diary of all of these changes, right? And so this is the next day, right? So this video came out on November 18th, right? So this is, if we look at, this is November 19th, literally the next day. And so let's go ahead and see what has kind of transpired.
And for the weird haters, the scale is very basic. There's nothing on it where I can mess with. That button is for kg or pounds. The battery, and that's about it. So yeah, I have not eaten yet today. I am fasting about 14 hours now. So yeah, let's go. All right, time to turn it on. 0. I have my abaya. What does it say? Okay, 164.5 kg.
So that's 362.2 pounds, right? So this is the next day. So skipping ahead a little bit in this video, she ends up doing like basically like a mukbang with healthier foods, I guess you could say. But then she's kind of talking about everything here.
I was really depressed earlier. I was like, never gonna get to eat pizza. I know you're thinking you shouldn't restrict yourself that much, but right now I have to. Like, I can't even have things in moderation because it's not just about weight loss anymore, it's about health. And I can't eat things that will spike my blood sugar because, like, I'm literally on the verge of like literal health crisis. So I really need to be very diligent, even if it's something that depresses me, even if it's something that almost kills me, because in reality it won't. It's actually good for me, and I just have to keep telling myself that. And you know, it's just something that has to happen. There's no way around it. And it can be very depressing at first, because when food is like, when you use food to cope with things and you take that away, you have to find whole new ways to cope.
Yeah, and it's interesting hearing, you know, almost mourning this thing, right? Mourning food basically is what she's kind of doing there. And I think one thing that's interesting is that a lot of times people will, you know, you're kind of told, oh, you can't have the same foods that you were eating. And it can feel like, oh, well, like, what else is there for me? What else am I going to be able to do? And this is why I think it's important to understand that, like, you can still find foods that you enjoy that still kind of spark that quote unquote joy, right? That maybe those quote unquote unhealthy foods were doing for you. And I think it's important to really explore that and really try and figure that out for yourself. I think one of the biggest problems, it's not just the food that is quote unquote, like, that is unhealthy that is the problem. A lot of times it's the convenience as well, right? Because cooking food can take a good amount of time. It requires a good amount of labor, and just ordering out takes no time at all. You know, it is a little bit more expensive, so you can save quite a bit if you're not doing that. But I think the convenience factor shouldn't be, you know, taken away as well. That's a really big part of why it can be hard to lose weight. And so I understand feeling frustrated or even genuinely feeling scared. I think if someone that's never had those same feelings where food becomes your comfort, you know, it becomes your vice, and it's the thing that helps you cope with things, it can seem like someone complaining about this is just ridiculous to you. But I know what that feels like, and it can feel very scary. And this is why I think it's important, like, to really have that switch flip for you. And like at the end of the day, when it's a health scare, but you're still not completely like, I want to do this and I need to do this, it can be really difficult because it is hard, right? But if you're able to kind of flip it into, I'm bummed out that I'm no longer going to be able to have these foods that I've enjoyed for so long, into, I'm excited because I'm going to find foods that I still enjoy that will be beneficial for me long term, right? When you're able to kind of flip it into that kind of thinking, so instead of I'm bummed out because of this, it's I'm excited because now I can find different ways to blah, 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 right? It's easier said than done, and I really do think that there's no video that I can make that would make someone have that, you know, what I call the, you know, have that flip switch for yourself, right? Have that click moment. I don't think that there's anything that anyone else can do, no matter what they tell you. It has to be internal, and that is something that I've struggled with myself, like trying to help other people. I've always told that even to my clients when I'm working with them, like, there's nothing that I can say in all of our calls together that can make you be like, I'm going to do this, right? It has to be an internal thing. And I think like trying to set yourself up as much once you have that click is really important. But sorry, I'm rambling, but I think it's very interesting hearing her kind of process this all, right?
And I should really just be like turning to Allah and to prayer and everything. So I'm going to try to do that and just have faith in God, have faith in myself, have faith in this plan. And I want to thank you guys for all your supportive comments, because, you know, they were mostly all really nice and positive, and on top of that, just a lot of them were constructive. So yeah, I really appreciate that.
So she's saying there, right, that she appreciates all of the positive reinforcement because, you know, obviously at this time that wasn't something that was super normal for her to receive. And so like I was saying when we were talking about that first video, it felt very real, right? It felt very genuine. It felt like there was a genuine want and desire to change. And sadly, it you know, not to spoilers, but it doesn't seem like that's really stayed that way. But let's continue. Let's continue with this video.
It's encouraging, you know. What really also keeps me on track is thinking of the future. If I keep eating the way I was and not doing any exercise, I don't really have a future. I don't have a good future. If I lose weight and get healthy, regain my health, I have a whole new life I didn't get to live before. I can do things I've never done because of my weight. So we can go to all the carnivals. I still don't like some of the rides, but some I will go on, just because I can. We can go to all the booths. I don't have to have anxiety about going to restaurants. All kinds of things, you know. So I'm just being really strict at first because of that. And I will always have to be strict and really mindful of these things. I realize that because slipping up is so easy. You know, all it will take is like one bologna sandwich, for instance, on white bread with chips, and I know that will cause a spiral. So I have.
And I think that, you know, when it comes to, everyone's very different when it comes to how they want to start a journey. And, you know, I always try to encourage people to, you know, practice balance as much as you can. But I also understand wanting to be a little bit strict at the start, especially when you have that spark and you're feeling very motivated. I think that there's nothing wrong with maybe even having certain foods that you're like, hey, I cannot have this thing, right? Like pizza, right? For some people, it might be that. French fries, whatever, right? I love French fries, but like that might be, you might have to have a hard, like, no, I can't have that. But what I encourage people is to not say, I can never have that ever, right? It might be, I can't have that for right now. And maybe eventually I'll be able to re-explore those different foods. But right now, I can't have that because I know that it will cause me to spiral, right? And so I don't, again, like everything that she's saying here and like the way that she's explaining herself, I feel for her, right? You do feel like I don't want anyone to find out they have diabetes. Like that's not a fun experience, right?
To really be abstinent in a lot of ways, unfortunately. So so I'm going to keep trying this OMAD thing and see how that goes.
So OMAD, what she's talking about there is 1 meal a day, if you don't know. It's something that a lot of people do. You know, it works for some people, it doesn't work for others.
It's not going to be a huge meal, but it's going to be very nutritious, nutrition dense. I think I should maybe also take a multivitamin or something as well. All right, guys. I think that's it.
All right, so those are the videos that I wanted to go over, and now I want to try and let's kind of teleport into what is happening a lot more recently. So I think the best way to kind of explain how everything is going is if we just go to her YouTube channel. So this is the YouTube channel as of now, and I want to start here. So we're not going to be going over all of these videos, but I think basically the thumbnails kind of tell a story. And so we have from 2 weeks ago, no fast food for 1 year KFC mukbang. So this is a video where she's basically saying, I'm not going to have fast food for a year. Okay. And then we go on to the next video after that, 13 days ago, full day of eating, trying to lose 200 pounds and stop eating fast food, right? And it says, the first day is so hard. And then we go to the literal next video, eat with me chicken drumsticks in Kuwait knife. They're probably saying that wrong. Chicken mukbang, no fast food challenge is off. Literally the next day, it says 13 days ago. I think it's probably the next day. Maybe it's even the same day, right? And then we have eat dinner with me, healthy fish and rice meal in Kuwait, right? So I think she's trying to, you know, be healthier there. And then eat a comforting pasta dinner with me in chit chat. And then we have live recap. Kuwait's largest cappuccino bees. And then trying the new Burger King chili cheese Whopper meal. Barbecue chicken wings with ranch and Philly cheese fries mukbang. KFC mukbang, the obsession is real. And then I'm not even going to try and say that word. Cottage pie cookbang. Right, and then let's go into, so this is a video that I do want to go over. So this is day in the life vlog, and it is on the thumbnail it says day 1 exercise challenge. So I think this explains kind of her mental state and where she is right now and what she is trying to do. So let's go ahead and click on this and watch this one.
Hello, foodie beauties.
Well, hello there. Did you know that you can request a private video from me made just for you that you can keep forever and ever? Yep, that's right. I can wish you or a loved one a happy birthday or even give you a pep talk.
Seeing how many people are doing Cameo, it's like, dang, maybe I should start doing that too. But I don't think I could do it.
I'm in Kuwait, so if you want a cameo at a specific location like a nice beach or a mall, just let me know. Get yours today and don't delay.
Well, hello guys, hello. Welcome back to another video. So, I'm going to be doing my skincare skincare, I mean just putting moisturizer on. I just did my 30 minutes workout, had a shower, and I'm gonna do my skincare, have something for lunch. And yeah, so today is day 1 of my using this Clinique. I don't have a complex skincare or anything. At least I wash and moisturize, I guess, you know. But yeah, so today's day 1 of this 30-day for 30 minutes on the treadmill challenge. And you
know, 30 minutes on a treadmill, if you're walking at even if it's not a brisk pace, you know, again, that's not crazy, right? That's not an insane amount of exercise. I mean, if you're trying to sprint for 30 minutes, that would be pretty rough.
Have decided that, well, we have decided together, because it involves him eating as well. My husband, Salah, in case you don't know, I'm married. I say it a lot, don't I? I have to like, I have to put another coat of nail polish on. Okay, so,
dude, with the nail polish, that was like, I was doing that for a while, and I know this has nothing to do with the video, but I literally stopped because of that. It was so annoying. Like, I feel like it looks like when your nail polish is chipped, it looks so much worse than just not having it on. And it was just too much work, bro. It was too much work for me. So I was like, nah, I'm done doing this.
I am going to do eating at home 4 days a week and eat out 3 days a week. Now, today is Wednesday, and Wednesday we have...
So eat at home 4 days a week, eat out 3 days a week. Okay, interesting plan.
Of this place that we love to eat roasted chicken from, and they give you like 12 pieces of chicken for the price of 8. So there's gonna be a lot of leftovers. Now, Salah can definitely, my hands are dry, do some damage. For sure. For sure. You can eat like maybe 4 or 5 pieces. Maybe 6, it depends, like if it's just drumsticks and stuff, but I usually eat like a huge breast. I can usually eat 2 to 3 big pieces, and I'm probably just gonna eat 1 huge one, maybe 2 small or 1 very big, and we can just have the leftovers for him for tomorrow, because tomorrow we'll probably eat at home. So yes. I'm in a very good mood because I did the exercise, and honestly, the exercise gets my blood going. It makes me feel so good inside. And honestly, I just, yeah, it's a mood booster, I gotta say.
So it's interesting, right? Because that's one of the biggest challenges of, like, if you're trying to lose weight and all you have to worry about is yourself, right? There's a lot of things that you can do that you can't do if you're someone that's like living with someone else or you have children, right? Like that obviously makes it even more difficult. And so I can empathize with the fact of like, you know, I can't just completely change everything because that's going to change stuff for the person that I'm with. And this sadly is a very common reason why a lot of times people that are in long-term relationships and someone ends up wanting to lose weight, they don't work out, because a lot of times the reason that someone is, you know, super large, well, not a lot of times, the reason someone is super large is because of the things that they are doing day to day, right? And if the person that they are with is okay with those things happening and that's how they like to live their life too, maybe they're not gaining as much weight, so they're not like, I don't feel like I need to make a change. A lot of times it can be really difficult when that person that has gained a ton of weight is like, you know what, I need to make a significant change, like I need to do this, and the other person in the relationship is like, well, I don't need to, so I'm not going to do that, and I don't really want to support that because it's going to change my life. It's really difficult, and a lot of times relationships end, right? In the bariatric community, I guess it's very common when someone gets the surgery that those relationships don't last because of how much of a strain it can put on that relationship, right?
So, where's my lip balm? Where's my lip balm? So that's, yeah. So these little videos I'll probably just do as like a bonus video every day for at least a month to be accountable for this challenge, because what's the point of telling you guys about this challenge and, you know, if I'm not going to show you every day. So I'll just probably show you guys what I eat to be honest, the challenge right now is just eating at home 4 days a week, which means I cannot have anything outside. And the 3 days a week for dinner, I'm gonna eat out. So yeah, that's basically what it is. Now, around the eating out, I'll probably eat stuff at home, like breakfasts at home and stuff like that, snack, whatever. So I'm just starting with little challenges that, you know, are achievable. I don't know if that's like a technique or what, but anyway. I'm gonna use a bit of this extra.
So we're basically, so the plan is we are going to eat out, what is that, 3 times a week, but apparently it's just dinner that's going to be eaten out, right? And so, okay, I mean, maybe not, you know, everyone's different, so it is what it is, but we're gonna skip ahead a little bit.
But yes, I'm just gonna show you my activity, like on the treadmill, to show that it's done, and maybe a close-up of my face sweaty, because like I don't want to show myself walking on the treadmill sometimes, because I don't like walking on the treadmill dressed, fully dressed, and with my hijab on. So I'll probably just show you the machine and, you know, confirm that it's, you know, I did a weigh-in today.
I mean, I guess I can, I mean, I guess I can understand that, not wanting to film yourself with all, or not wanting to work out with everything on. I can't imagine that it's super comfortable, so that makes sense.
So just to show you what my weight is at, and so I'll probably just like show you like my weigh-ins and stuff here and there. I don't know how frequently, but yes. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that, and so I'll just show you what I eat throughout the day. I'm not really counting calories right now. I'm just trying to make little choices with every meal, like be more conscious, like, you know, really think about my meals and what I'm gonna have, and try not to overdo it, and, you know, just try. And I'll do the calorie counting like down the line, maybe. I don't know, if I do too many things at once, too many changes at once, incorporate too many lifestyle changes at once, I just set myself up for failure every time. That's why.
So it's so interesting hearing her talk about, you know, I don't want to do too much at once. I don't want to make all of these changes at once. I don't want to do all this stuff at once. But then it's just like, it's hard not to compare, right, to Amberlynn, because it's like they're just like in the same boat, it feels like, right? Where it's, and this is something that I've talked about, and I don't really, I almost don't even really fault them, but it's very common. Like, the more, I've always said this, the more and more you fail at losing weight, and I'm not saying that in a judgmental way, but just like the more and more you fail at losing weight, I think the less and less willpower you end up having, to where you just, even at the start of the weight loss journey, it's almost like you are like, I know that I'm not going to do this. And so let me make this as easy as I can for myself to try and find something that I am successful in, right? And so like I do understand the struggle and like just trying to find something that will work, because like I think it's just, you want to have a win regardless of what that win is, and it feels like that's kind of what's happening here. It's like, I'm just trying to find a win. I'm just trying to find a way to, you know, feel like I did the thing that I said I was going to do.
You're here watching this cycle start day 1 again. So, you know, but that's okay. Like, I really, you know, I'm just so happy, alhamdulillah, that I'm here to try again. You know, every night before I go to bed, I as one of my prayers when I'm falling asleep, I just ask Allah to bless me with another day to try again. And so far, so good. So I just, you know, I'm just blessed to be here and to be able to try over and over again. So, yes, I know it sounds cheesy, but honestly, gratitude will get you a long, long, long way in this world, in this life, I'm telling you. So anyways, I guess that's about it. I'm going to just show you what I have to eat. I'll show you my lunch. I'm probably going to have leftovers from yesterday. We had a lot of leftovers, and Salah loved the moussaka cottage pie. If you haven't seen that video, check it out if you're interested. If you like eating videos, recipe videos, whatever. It was very, very successful. It was a very successful recipe, and it was very filling and satisfying, comfort food. And yeah, I didn't snack at all last night, actually, because that meal was very satisfying for me, and it was a comfort food, so it did the trick. So but yes, I will have that for leftovers, and then I'll probably have that roasted chicken for dinner, and I will do a mukbang, so just stay tuned for that. Now all right, so I will just say goodbye here, because I'm going to show you the rest of the video is going to be clips of my exercise and what I eat. So all right guys, so yeah, all right, so I hope you enjoy the clips of what I eat today. Actually, let me just say, I always forget what I was gonna say. So I'm gonna have my lunch. I had breakfast, my lunch, a snack. I'm gonna have a pretty big dinner, so that's probably all I'm gonna have today. If I eat anything else, I will let you know in tomorrow's video. All right, see you.
All right, so she weighs herself, and she's at 353 pounds, right? So a little bit of a change from that original diabetes video. So I mean, again, it could be worse, you know, weight hasn't been gained, right? So, you know, things could be worse. And now we have a clip of her walking, and then let's go ahead and go through this, because I'm not sure if this music is copyright. So we have a cat who is your cheerleader, I guess, and we have the plan here: eat out, at home, eat out, at home. New week. All right, that sounds great. And then we have some food here. I mean, it looks pretty good. I like bread, so any bread is always good for me. And then it looks like we have some peanuts and some strawberries, which, you know, I personally enjoy doing fruit along with these nuts. Got them. But fruit with any sort of like kind of nut, I do that often. All right. And then I'm not exactly sure what this is, some sort of salad with some sort of dish on the side. I'm not exactly sure what that is. But you know, it all looks pretty good. So that video that we just watched, again, was posted yesterday. Now I want to show you. So if we go to live, which Foodie Beauty does a lot of live streams. If we click on this, so this is a live stream, and to her credit, right, she is out and about pretty frequently, which is definitely good. You know, she's not going out and ordering, or she's not just having people, you know, having food delivered to herself. She's going out and about, right? So this is called Kuwait bakeries and beaches are the best. And I just think it's funny that the top comment is, Chantal, aren't you diabetic? I'm confused, right? And then she just replies with a yes, sad face, right? So there's some struggles in this video. So if we go to about 22 minutes in, she is eating chicken nuggets from McDonald's, right? You know, just already, again, her whole thing was, I'm only going to eat out for dinner a few days a week. And it doesn't seem that that's kind of happening. But then if we skip to 108, which I think is a little bit more interesting, there's some interesting stuff that happens here. And so we're going to go ahead into that, where I think she gets like an eclair or a cake or something from a bakery there in Kuwait. And then she kind of starts talking about it. So let's go ahead and see what she has to say here. Again, this is uploaded literally the day after the video we just watched.
Bismillah. Oh, it's chocolate cream. Mmm. Oh, you're gonna like that.
So who she's talking to there, I think in chat, is her husband. So I think she's saying, like, you're gonna like that, saying that to him.
One more bite.
Hi, Buddha.
That was
You're so-
quite the large bite for sure.
That's so good, guys. I'm gonna eat it all.
So the plan was to take one bite, right? And then now eating the entire thing, right?
Babe, it's so good. Nina, another 5 just in case you have to go back to Salah to get another one. Thank you, Nina. Thank you so much. I love you. Jenny's, yeah. Food makes me really happy, obviously. I won't lie. Oh my gosh. That's so good. Watch your sugar. Yeah. That's true.
So clearly, you know, there's the best of intentions like we were talking about, but it seems that the follow through just doesn't exist. And it almost like I could see watching this stream and feeling like, oh, this just feels like it feels like you're just trolling, right? It doesn't feel like you're actually being serious. And I think that that's where a lot of people that really get frustrated with Foodie Beauty is that like it will seem like if you're an outside observer, someone that hasn't seen a lot, that oh, this person is really serious about making changes, but then immediately like they're going and doing this live stream. And then even better example, so I think like we've kind of seen everything that I want to see there, but if we go back to her YouTube channel, as I was recording this video or getting this video ready and I was working with Rachel on everything behind the scenes, this video was uploaded, which is new giant Hardee's chicken sandwich mukbang in the car. So it's just like, or you guys can't see that, but here, it's right here. So new giant Hardee's chicken sandwich mukbang in the car, right? So it's just like, at what point, right? And this is where I think where with like the girl world people and all of that stuff is that like you see it so much over and over and over again that it's just like we've heard this story a million times and people just stop even trying to believe it, and then it just turns into basically being like, well, I don't actually believe this is happening. I don't believe that you're actually trying to do that, because again, literally the next day, new giant Hardee's chicken sandwich mukbang in the car, you know? So that's kind of where the situation stands now, you know, as far as like Foodie Beauty saying that she wants my help. I don't even know if that's entirely true, but for anyone that might feel in a current, you know, situation that's similar to Foodie Beauty or Chantal, if you're watching this video, at the end of the day, like you have to understand that there is no one that can do anything for you unless you are 100% willing to do it yourself. And so, you know, I hope that you can find that spark, or that, you know, have that click moment for you to make those changes. I think the current situation where you're sitting right now, as far as how you are making money on YouTube and how this has become a part of your career, I think that you have a lot of things that you would need to change to actually make, I think, losing a significant amount of weight that would improve the quality of your health and of your life. I think there's a lot of changes that would have to be made, not just to your, you know, overall eating, but as far as making content and being able to make a living on YouTube, because I'm assuming that's something that you want to continue doing. So that's one of the hardest things when it comes to starting a YouTube channel about eating a bunch of food, right? Like if you can no longer really do that, well, what's the plan? I don't really know. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on the whole situation. I mean, there's so much more. I understand, and I'm sure there will be comments saying I didn't talk about this or that or that. I know there's so much stuff, but this video is already long enough, so I just wanted to try my best to focus on the thing that I feel like I could add any sort of insight into. But I would love to know what y'all think down in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, leave a like. It helps out. If you didn't know, we started a new membership on the channel, so if you want to check that out, that helps out the channel, and you'll get videos every single week that only you'll be able to see, as well as I think I might do some live streams as well. If you want to check that out, the join button should be right next to the subscribe button, so if you want to check that out, it just helps the channel out a lot as well, so I would appreciate that. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.